What's up, guys? We're back with another video today, and guys, yes, I know I am alive. I came back finally. I came back to get the milk. Listen. I'm not gonna get too deep into it. I made a community post about it. Basically, IRL stuff's busy for me right now. But we are not here to talk about that, guys. We're not here to talk about all that bullshit. We are here to talk about UFC Fight Night, Derrick Lewis versus Tallison Teixeira. This is what we're here to talk about, guys. I mean, this is like, listen. I haven't talked about it as much. I am a unbelievable Derrick Lewis fan. He is so funny. He might be the funniest fighter in the UFC right now. Genuinely, I love Derrick Lewis. He is such a funny fighter. Like nothing aside, he's very good. I really like Derrick Lewis. We'll get more into this fight when we get to it, but I am here to give my full card predictions for UFC Fight Night, Derrick Lewis versus Tallison Teixeira. I already said it, but I just want to say it. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, now the first fight we have on this card is Fatima Kalin versus Michelle Martinez. I'm going with Fatima Kalin by decision. I just think that she's better. I think that the betting odds in this are crazy. Like, having her as a minus 1,000 is a little bit much, but I still think that she'll win this fight. I just think that, first of all, she knocked out her last opponent, so I would say that's pretty impressive, and that's really the only reason why I feel, at least, that she's a massive favorite in this fight. Alright, next up we have Minch Ramirez versus Mike Davis. I'm going with Mike Davis by TKO in round 2. For one, I think Mike Davis is way better than Minch. He has only one fight in the UFC, and it was against Thiago Moises, and he got knocked out by Thiago Moises. Not a good look, especially because it's Thiago Moises. I don't think Thiago Moises is that good. I don't think so. Bro got knocked out by Jared Gordon. Come on now. I don't Jared. This is Jared Gordon we're talking about. Jared Gordon's decent, but he's not a knockout artist or anything too crazy. He got knocked out by him. And I know you should never do boxing math or MMA math. It just never works. Styles make fights, of course. Minch could potentially go in here and just flatline KO Mike Davis. That's how MMA is. But look, I'm looking at how it is right now. He got knocked out by Thiago Moises, and Thiago Moises got finished by Jared Gordon. And Mike Davis, he's got decent knockout in his career. He has a couple of finishes. So with that type of logic, I'm going to go with Mike Davis by TKO in round 2. All right, next up we have Kennedy Nazuku versus Valter Walker. I was extremely tempted to pick Kennedy because, for one, there are a couple of reasons. He's taller, got the longer reach, and he's also, he's not bigger in weight, but he's just overall bigger in a way, not in a sense of weight, but just in size and intimidation kind of way. You get what I'm trying to say there? I thought about this incredibly for a long time, and by for a long time I meant 5 seconds. I'm picking Valter Walker by submission in round 2. Why am I picking him? Well, for one, let's look at Kennedy's Nazuku's career, right? So he hasn't really gotten submitted that much in the UFC. His only submission, I believe, in the UFC that he got submitted by was Paul Craig back in 2019. I checked it. He got submitted by him back in 2019. That was his only submission loss in the UFC, I think. And listen, it's Paul Craig, right? Paul Craig, he's a good submission artist. We can't get people forget, man. Paul Craig, when he was at light heavyweight, was an absolute monster, bro. This guy was genuinely John Jones when it came to... No, I'm joking. But no, Paul Craig has good submission threats. He does. He genuinely does. And Valter Walker... I don't really... Valter Walker is a good submission artist. He's a good grappler, I would say, but the dude's fought bums. Let's be real. If we ignore the fact he submitted Junior Tafa, which, Junior Tafa, guys, this is John Jones level. The fact that he submitted Junior Tafa in the first round, that's why I'm picking him, guys. That's actually why I'm picking him, because he submitted Junior Tafa, and if you submit Junior Tafa, you're just going to win your next fight. You're going to be the greatest of all time. It's just a fact, guys. So that's why I'm picking Valter Walker by submission in round 2. All right, next up we have Laura Murphy versus Adwana Mora. Well, I'm going with Adwana Mora. For one, she's younger. She's better than Murphy. Why is Murphy still here? She's way too old for this sport. Cut her if she loses this fight, which we know she's gonna. Let's be real. So that's really what it's gonna be for this one. All right, next up we have Jake Matthews versus Cheetah Nijikawani. I'm going with Jake Matthews by decision. Listen, Jake Matthews, guys, this is the greatest fighter of all time. Jake Matthews is genuinely one of the best. No, Jake Matthews is all right. He's pretty decent, I would say, for an unranked welterweight, I would say. Chijia, what is this guy's best win? I literally cannot think of it on the top of my head. I think this will actually be a good fight. Don't get me wrong. I think this will be a great fight to watch. But, what has been his best wins, this guy? I'm looking up right now. Jared Gordon, not Jared Gordon from lightweight, the other Jared Gordon, the bald guy. He had that like weird stance. He was so like fucking stiff. I've never seen a fighter hit pads and be more stiff than this guy Jared Gordon. Like unbelievable. And like that's his best win because he's on a 3-fight winning streak. That's his best win, guys. Literally, that is his best win. Like I don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, this is gonna be a pretty easy win for Jake Matthews. However, I will say it will be like it's gonna be a good win, but it's gonna be a fun like fight. I think Chidi will go out trying to win this fight, but Jake Matthews will just always be one step ahead of him. That's why I think, honestly, I don't think Chidi is gonna win this fight at all. I think Jake Matthews will win this pretty comfortably, but it will be a fun one. I am very interested to see this one. All right, next up we have Max Griffin versus Chris Curtis. I am actually really excited to see this one. I didn't even realize Chris Curtis is moving down to welterweight, bro. I've been finally waiting for him to move down there because, bro, he's undersized at middleweight. He just is, bro. But the fact that he's going toe-to-toe with most of these middleweights who are, like, gigantic, bro. Like, these motherfuckers are giant compared to Chris Curtis. That's just the truth. He's on the same, like, size and, like, weight comparison to Joaquin Buckley, right? And even then, Joaquin Buckley looked not that, like, large in comparison to Chris Curtis, which is kind of crazy. How did he stay at middleweight for so long? Whatever. I'm going Chris Curtis by TKO in round 1. Max Griffin is not good. Bro got submitted by Michael Chiesa. Michael Chiesa, don't get me wrong, he's not a bad fighter, but bro, he's not in his prime no more. This is not prime Michael Chiesa. And even then, prime Michael Chiesa wasn't too crazy. Let's be real. He was not a championship level fighter. He could have been, but he just wasn't, in my opinion. And then, like, let's look at Max Griffin's career right now. Like, I'm literally pulling up right now. Okay, so lost to Michael Chiesa by submission, wins over Jeremy Wheels by split decision, and I don't even think he really won that fight. I looked at the stats. You could make an argument that Jeremy Wells could have potentially won that fight. Loses to Michael Morales. Not a bad loss, actually. Michael Morales has actually aged pretty well. Like, he's actually pretty good. Has a split decision again against Tim Meals. How? I don't understand. Has a split decision against Neil Magny. Classic. I mean, it's Neil Magny. Let's not joke around. Gets a free win against Carlos Condit. Bro, Carlos Condit by that point in like 2021 was genuinely like on like crunching. Like this dude Carlos Condit was genuinely like already out of the door by that point. Like come on now. So yeah, looking at his record, man, like Max Griffin is not winning this fight. He just isn't. Like don't get me wrong, Chris Curtis is not like a top level fighter, but he's still much better in comparison to Max Griffin. Like let's be real. So I'm going with Chris Curtis by TKO in round 1. All right, next up we have Junior Tafa versus Taco Tacos. I know I mispronounced that name, guys. I know I did, but come on, it just makes so much more sense. Both of his names just sound like you're just saying taco. That's just the truth. Listen, I was gonna pick Taco Tucus. I was going to pick him, actually, genuinely, in all seriousness. But I think Junior Tafa is going to win this fight. I actually saw, like, when he was, like, getting in shape for this fight, because he's moving down from heavyweight. Thank God. We don't need fat fighters in heavyweight. We just don't. I don't understand. These guys are only here just to get a paycheck. That's it. They don't want to become a champion. They don't want to do any of this bullshit. They don't want to, train hard. They just want to make some money. That's it. I guess Junior Tafa is going to lock in now, finally, after he lost to the GOAT, Walter Walker. But, I think he'll win this fight. I think he actually wants to win this fight. I don't know if Tacos Tucos is going to want to win this fight. I don't think he might have that, strive and all that stuff to win this. I think for Junior Tafa, his best chance to win this fight is, honestly, he's going to have to make it a brawl. He's going to have to make it a scrap. He's going to have to make Tuco Tacos a bit uncomfortable, and that's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to, make it a scrap in order for him to win this fight. So I'm going to go with Junior Tafa by decision. All right, next up we have Vitor Petrino versus Austin Lane. Another easy one. Vitor Petrino, by decision. I actually think this is going to be the lock of the night, to be honest with you. Don't get me wrong, Vitor Petrino is on 2-fight losing streak. He got brutally submitted by Anthony Smith. That's just really bad right there. That's genuinely possibly one of the worst performances you could ever have, especially if it's Anthony Smith. Let's be real. Then he fights Dustin Jacoby. It's relatively competitive. I actually thought Vitor Petrino was going to win that fight when they were on the fee, until Dustin Jacoby decided to actually lock in and decide to knock him out with a straight, I think it was it was a cross right, I believe he hit him with. I can't remember. I haven't watched the fight since then. Regardless, he knocks him out, and now he's on 2-fight losing streak. That was pretty bad. Now he's going up to heavyweight, And he's going to be undersized because he's going to be like, what, 230, 240 going into there? So he's not going to be too big compared to these guys, but he's athletic. He actually could be natural heavyweight. I mean, look at him at like light heavyweight. You can literally see the abs so well at light heavyweight, so I think he'll be fine when he moves up to heavyweight. Heavyweight's just so easy. All these guys are just ass. They are just straight up ass. There's no other way to describe it. Austin Lane is an absolute bum, 37 years old. 1 in like 8 or something like that. God knows what it is. His only win was against Robelas de Spain. I want to say that's a good win, but it's Robelas de Spain. This guy literally cannot grapple. He is a great striker. If this was a kickboxing like event, Robelas de Spain would be the champion regardless. He would. But this guy has no grappling. Like, he does not even know how to do anything when it comes to the wrestling and grappling. And so Austin Lane was able to win that fight. That's just a terrible win to have. So regardless, I'm going with Vitor Petrino by decision. All right, next up, we have a banger right here. This is a really good fight. I am so excited for this one. Nate Lander versus Morgan Shahiri. I had to take a second to read that one. Like, Jesus. I'm going with Morgan Shahiri. I think he's going to win this. For one, why do I think this? Well, there are a couple of reasons. First, Nate Lander, he's getting up there in age. He's 37 years old. He's not getting younger. Morgan is 29 years old. He's probably at like the peak of his prime when it comes to the UFC and athletic stuff I was just saying before. He's 29 years old. He's at the peak, I would say, of his career. Not as far as like who he's fighting, because he just lost his last fight to Nathaniel Wood. But, you know, he's up there at like a good age where he's like the perfect like form of himself. You get what I'm trying to say. And also, Nate Lander in his last fight, he fought Del Ho Choi. He got the shit kicked out of him. That was a bad like beatdown he took, bro. That was really bad. And eventually by that third round, he got finished by Choi. Really bad performance against him. Like, Nate Lander looked really bad in that fight. That was a really bad loss to take. I think how this fight's going to go, Nate's going to try and push the pressure on him in the first round, and Morgan's going to have to like take a step back and try to counter back. And I think Nate will win that first round. Second round, I think Morgan will be able to respond back a little bit more. I think Nate will gas himself out in like that second round after trying to push it like in that first round. And I think Morgan will be able to get the second round win. Then in the third round, I think Nate Lander will be really gassed out. And I think Morgan will really take over that third round and beat him up pretty badly, I would say, because he's just younger and he has that speed advantage and all that stuff. And I think Morgan Freeman will get like a 29-28 decision for him. That's why I think with this one. All right, next up, we have another banger. Calvin Kattar versus Steve Garcia. I'm going with Steve Garcia by decision, guys. Why do I think this? I don't think Steve Garcia will be able to finish Calvin Kattar, right? If Max Holloway throwing like a billion shots right at Calvin Kattar's skull could not finish him, I don't think that Steve Garcia is going to. Like, come on, it's Steve Garcia. And also, who has Steve Garcia, like, had good wins over? I mean, to be honest with you, I can only think of Chase Hooper, but Chase Hooper was back at featherweight. Chase Hooper was too small for that division, and he was still young at that time, so I can't really say that that was, like, his best win. It has aged decently well, because Chase Hooper has been on a decent tear at lightweight, but still. I can see Calvin Kattar winning this. I do think that this will be a close fight. I can see this being a split decision for Steve Garcia. I could see this being a split decision for Calvin Kattar. I could see a potential for him winning this. But I think, for one, Calvin Kattar is getting up there in age. I really think so. And I think Steve Garcia, he's on a tear. He just is. So I'm going with Steve Garcia by decision. All right, now we are at the co-main event. We have now Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Gabriel Balfim. I'm going with Wonderboy by decision. I don't understand the hype with Gabriel. I don't know why people are picking him. Bro, I genuinely don't get this. Do I think Gabriel is bad? No, I don't think he's bad at all. But I don't think that people are overlooking Wonderboy. I really feel like it. Bro, he fought Joaquin Buckley and he got finished. Don't get me wrong, but that was not a bad performance. That genuinely was not a bad performance. Like, you could have made an argument he won those first 2 rounds. You really could make an argument that he won those first 2. And I don't think that Gabriel Balfim is going to be able to take down Wonderboy as much. I do think he will get takedowns on him in like the early rounds, but I think Wonderboy will be able to stuff most of them, I would say, and he'll be able to keep the distance with him because he's very good at that. He's very good at keeping distance because that's his just karate stance. It's really good at keeping distance, I feel. Maybe that's just Wonderboy. He'll keep his distance. He'll keep his jab out, keeping like the side kicks, front kicks. he'll be able to piece up Gabriel Balfimo on the feet, I feel. And as long as he does not get pushed back to the cage, which does happen a lot, Gabriel Balfimo won't have any chance to win this fight. I don't think so. I think Wonderboy will be able to win this fight. I really do. I'm going with Wonderboy by decision. Alright, now we are at the main event for this card, guys. And now we have Derrick Lewis versus Tallison Teixeira. Listen, I just said that I am a big fan of Derrick Lewis. I think he's one of my favorite fighters. I think he's really funny. He's like great fights, exciting fights. He usually finishes all the guys that he fights. When he wins, at least, you know. When he loses, he gets finished. But I think he's going to get finished in this fight. I really think he's not going to win this fight. I think Tallison Teixeira is going to win this fight. Why do I think this? There are a couple of reasons. For one, listen, at heavyweight, age is not that much of a big factor into this. But Derrick Lewis is getting to that 40-year mark. He is. He's getting up there. And let's be real, Derrick Lewis has not always been the quickest fighter. He just has never been the quickest fighter. Whereas Tallison Teixeira, he's a quick dude. I mean, I remember when he threw that elbow against Justin Tafa. That was like a quick elbow he threw. And he's smart. Because I remember when he had Justin Tafa in a clinch up in the cage. And what he did was, first of all, Tallison Teixeira's hand was stuck in Justin Tafa's arms. So what he did was he started kneeing Justin Tafa in the belly, starting to hurt him. Then he was able to loosen up Justin Tafa's arm. He was able to get it out. And when Justin Tafa's arms were down, he elbowed him right in the face, and that's what was able to finish him. Look at the same thing when Derrick Lewis fought Tai Tuivasa. Tai Tuivasa had him up in the cage, and what happens? He gets elbowed and gets finished. I can very much see that same thing happening with Derrick Lewis in this fight. I really can. I think Derrick Lewis will be able to do decent in the first round. I think they'll be able to keep their distance, and I think Derrick Lewis will be fine. But I think over time, Tallison Teixeira will be able to pressure him a little bit, and I think he'll be able to find a finish. I think he'll do that same finish he did against Justin Tafa. I kind of can see that happening. Because that was the same thing that happened with Tai Tuivasa when he did that to Derrick Lewis. I can see that, man. But I don't want this to happen. I would love to see Derrick Lewis winning this, man. We need Derrick Lewis to win, but at the same time, we low-key need Tallison Teixeira to win this because this division's fucking cooked. If Derrick Lewis wins, there's going to be no prospect at heavyweight. There's just going to be zero. Literally zero. Apart from Shamil Gaziev, because it's Shamil Gaziev, the greatest fighter of all time. But guys, that is me giving my full card predictions for UFC Fight Night, Derrick Lewis versus Tallison Teixeira. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. Do you agree with some of these takes? Do you don't? Give me your thoughts on this video overall. And we'll see if I upload soon. Maybe you'll see me upload the next day. We'll see, Leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace!